Good afternoon, good afternoon. Again, one more time. I'm very happy to be able to talk to you this afternoon. The topic this afternoon gonna be COVID-19. As you already know, before I say anything, I always like to get into the Bible, the Word of God. The verse that I'm going to concentrate on today found itself in Mark chapter 19, verse 25. That was Jesus talking to the crowd after after he had done a miracle, after he had saved a man. He had healed a man that was the demon possessed, and then they were criticizing him that they were saying that in their mind that he had done all these miracles in the name of the devil. And that's when he told them in verse 25, verse 24, if a kingdom is divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25, and if a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Verse 26, and if Satan has risen up against himself, and he is divided, he cannot stand, but has an end. So, let's talk about COVID-19, and I have the numbers for you, and the numbers cannot lie. Numbers cannot lie. So, often that you hear that the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, always talking about China, the Chinese virus. So, let me give you the numbers about China. China had 85,000. That was from Sunday. Those numbers were from Sunday, this past Sunday. 85,487 positive cases, and then they have 4,547 deaths. That is all that China had during this whole pandemic. But the number today might be a lot different, because as you already know, every day the numbers add, more people get infected, more people die. So if we make a comparison to the United States as of Sunday had 3.29 million positive cases, and they had 137,000 deaths. So if we're running around calling that virus Chinese virus, to me that virus is more American than it is Chinese. Even if that virus was a Chinese virus, that virus now naturalized as an American. That virus now is an American citizen. You know what? Because China got their act together. They had leadership, so they put their feet on the ground. The people follow them. They lead and the people follow. So they control that virus. In the United States, we have no leadership. People are just. We have a so-called president that is running around like a fool. He's denying science. He's denying smart people. He's denying infectious disease doctors. He's denying scientists. Those people spend so many years sitting in schools. They study hard. They earn their diplomas. They're very smart people, compared to the president that is not so smart. Like I usually say, this president did not go to school. His parents were rich and they bought him diplomas from schools that they pretend that he attended, and even teachers can confirm that claim to you. And also right now, I've seen that this president is pushing for schools to reopen, and then often he's spreading at countries in Europe that is gonna reopen their schools. I'm gonna say a few of these countries to you, and I'm gonna give you their numbers to see why they're opening schools, and then to see what they have done that make it possible for them to open school today. If you take a country like Luxembourg, this country have a very low death rate, 110 deaths. Okay, so saying this country is safe to open their schools. During this whole pandemic, they had 110 deaths, not 137,000 deaths. If you take the country of Japan, Japan has 974 deaths. Japan is safe to open its schools, okay? They got that virus under control and they got leadership. If you take a country like Denmark, Denmark has 605 deaths and they got leadership that lead with science. And Denmark is safe to open its schools if they choose to do so. Finland has 328 deaths and they have leadership that lead with science. And if Finland choose to do so, they can reopen their schools with 328 deaths. You take a country like Poland with 1,463 deaths. Poland is safe to reopen its schools if they choose to do so because they lead with science and good leadership. If you take a country like Sweden, Sweden has 5,333 deaths. If Finland choose to reopen its schools, they can do so because they lead with leadership and science. If you take a country like Ireland, Ireland has 1,736 deaths. Ireland is safe to reopen its country if its schools if it choose to do so because they lead with science and good leadership and they let smart people make the decision. If you take a country like New Zealand, they have 22 deaths. New Zealand can reopen its schools if it chooses to do so because they lead with leadership, smart people, and science. They can do so if they choose to reopen their schools. And if you take a country like Brazil, Brazil had 1.84 million positive cases, and they have so far from Sunday 71,469 deaths. You take a country like India, India has 850,000 positive cases. They have 22,674 deaths. You take a country like Russia, Russia has 727,000 positive cases, and they have 11,335 deaths. You take a country like Peru, Peru have 323,000 positive cases, and they have 11,682 deaths. When you take total of these four countries, positive cases and death, United States beat all these four countries combined together. When you take Brazil, India, Russia, Peru, total death 71,000, 22,000, 11,000, 11,000. Grand total is 117,160 death. That's for four countries: Brazil, India, Russia, Peru. United States itself has 137,000 deaths. This is United States has 30,000 more deaths surplus past those four countries. When you take Brazil, 1.84 million, India 850,000 infection, Russia 727,000 infection, Peru 323,000 infection, that does not total 3.29 million. So we cannot send our kids back to school in this current situation, in this current infestation of COVID-19. Yes, we do need to send our kids back to school, but we need to have guidelines. We need to have safe guidelines, safe way to send our kids to schools, so we don't turn around and bury our kids like we've been burying people for the past 6 months. 137,000 souls, fathers, mothers, brothers, sisters, cousins, sons, young people, old people, children in Florida and many other states, in New York. Children as young as 9 years old lost their life. So this to tell you, children are not immune to that virus. So we cannot, you hear me, we cannot send our kids to school with no preparation, just to say because they're young they're gonna beat it, they're gonna get over it. So when they get that virus and then they come home, mommy daddy around 50 years old, 40 some years old, grandparents 70s, 80 years old. Can kids get infected? Okay, let's say they don't develop any complication, but they come home, they make mommy and daddy sick, they make grandparents sick, and then mommy daddy in the hospital, grandparents pass away from the virus. Now who's gonna take care of our kids? Who's gonna work to taking care of them? Let's say mommy and daddy die. We have so many orphans now running around. Who's going to be taking care of them? It is very irresponsible for this current government, as a failure as they are already, to keep pushing to send our kids in armed way, to keep pushing to send our kids back to school with no preparation, with nothing to protect them. This is irresponsible. And I just really, I cannot understand why are we doing this to ourselves? Why we let one man that is not even that smart, that man is stupid. Donald Trump is not smart. Donald Trump has no brain. Donald Trump got an empty head. He's demented. Why we let one man, that man is shading over our constitution. Excuse my language. I mean, I'm talking the Bible. I should not put that word shading on the video. But yes, I'm sorry. But now one dumb, one stupid man destroying our country. He's pooping over the constitution. He's pooping over the laws. He's releasing criminals. He's trying to cover up. And then we have a current Republican Senate that is sitting there dumb. They don't say nothing. I remembered when 3 people got killed during the Obama administration in Benghazi. Republican, they were losing their mind. They were losing their mind. And there were investigation after investigation asking Hillary Clinton to come on Capitol Hill to testify for hours and hours and hours and hours, day after days. Now 137,000 people lost their life with COVID-19. Where are Republicans? Their mouths are zip tied. Russia had bounty over the head of our militaries in Afghanistan. Some of our military men and women have already got killed because of their bounties. Where are Republicans? I don't hear them talking anything about that. I don't hear them. Donald Trump is releasing criminals that should be sitting in jail, that violating the Constitution, that violating their oaths of office. He's releasing them. I don't hear anybody talking about those things. So it's time for you Americans people to wake up from that deep sleep that you are, because there's no other way that I can put it, that because you're sleeping. You need to wake up from that sleep, because 4 more years of Donald Trump in this White House, you're not gonna have a country. Your country gonna be as third world, as worse as Venezuela. Your country gonna be as worse as Venezuela. Your country will be chaotic. Donald Trump has no respect for the law. Donald Trump has no respect for science. Donald Trump has no respect for life. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump does not care about whether you live or die. Donald Trump only care about his pockets. How many millions he can put in his pocket. How many people he can scam. This is insane. For us to sit down and let all those things happen. My biggest deception is the Republican Senate. Those elected people that sit there and let this happen. Those people got elected to protect us, to protect the nation. Now they're working against the nation. Donald Trump is not in the best interest of this nation. So we need to stand up to Donald Trump on November the 3rd, 2020. This is our last chance. Last chance. If we don't stand up and ask Donald Trump out of this White House, believe me, you will be sorry for many generations to come, for centuries to come. Yes, that will carry on from generation to generation, because Donald Trump will do so much damage to this system, to this current system. That's gonna be that's gonna be impossible to fix. We need to wake up. We need to get together. The Bible says a house divided among itself cannot stand, and the kingdom is going to end. Remember Germany. It was one man that destroyed Germany. Hitler. He used division. Germany found itself fall to the Allied, specifically to Russia. Russia was the army that was at the forefront, that marched into Berlin, that they got to the White House in Berlin while they were going to the bunker. That coward Hitler shot himself in the head. That's what they always do. They're running around thinking they all that. They have no rival, and then once it's time for them to pay for what they have done, they kill themselves as coward. Hitler died as a coward in the bunker of the White House in Berlin, Germany. So we need to stand up. We need to stand up to that bully Donald Trump. We cannot let that man destroy this great country, this whole system, this good system that was leading the world in science, in technologies, in democracy, in politics. Right now, we are not a world leader. We have the most cases of COVID-19, 3.29 million infected people, which is more today. 137,000 deaths, that was Sunday, which is more today. This is unacceptable. Unacceptable. When you take a country like Ethiopia, that has only 103 deaths, Kosovo 51 deaths, Morocco 228 deaths, South Africa 2,657 deaths, Benin 21 deaths, Armenia 443 deaths, Slovakia 28 deaths, Senegal 112 deaths, Equatorial Guinea 32 deaths, New Zealand 22 deaths, Russia 9,306 deaths, Malaysia 121 deaths, South Korea 282 deaths, Pakistan 4,395 deaths, Chile 5,688 deaths, Argentina 1,307 deaths. And we cannot talk about ourselves as world leaders. No, we are not. We are a failing state right now to the COVID-19. We have failed leadership. We are in the tail of the pack. We are not leading. Germany is leading right now. They're winning with the virus. Italy is leading. Spain is leading. Florida right now has more infected people than the whole Italy has during the whole time they were going to that thing. Florida has right now more infection than Spain when they were leading that thing. Canada, 8,650 deaths. Bulgaria, 230 deaths. Denmark, 605 deaths. We cannot be the world leader. No, we cannot. Denmark can open its schools with 605 deaths during this whole the pandemic, and they had it under control. Now they have it under control. But we here in the United States, we do not have this thing under control because our current government is bullying science. Our current government is bullying our top scientists here, our top infectious disease doctor that is in charge of this whole infectious disease situation in this country. And they have been doing this for over 40 years with multiple administrations. And this is the first time he has faced such resistance, such bullying. We need to bully Donald Trump in the poll on November 3rd, 2020. We need to go bully him. We need to win that election. We need to elect Joe Biden on November the 3rd, 2020 with a landslide. Oh yes, we need to march on the street of Washington, D.C., every single city of this country. We need to parade of victory, parade of freedom when we finally get rid of Donald Trump, because this insanity, this nonsense that Republican they're allowing to go right now, they're cheerleading on to go now. We the people, we the only one that can stop it with our ballots in hands. That's why they're fighting so hard. They try to stop mailing voting. They try to stop mailing ballots. They try to close the polls in the popular neighborhoods, especially more specifically in the minorities neighborhoods. They try to close most of the polls. They try to make it so people can get discouraged standing in long lines. So you need to get ready for that day, even if it costs you the whole day, the whole night to stand in a line to vote. You need to vote the hell Donald Trump out of office, because we cannot allow this to continue, because it's not gonna end well if we let this to happen. Again, the Bible says, a house divided against itself, that house cannot stand. And if Satan has risen up against himself and he is divided, he cannot stand, but has an end. So remember, evil cannot win. Evil only can rise and run for a little bit, and then evil is gonna fall to people with good intention. Division cannot win. Division will always fall to unity. Unity is stronger. Hate cannot win. Remember, love will always win. Remember, you need to keep on pushing. It doesn't matter if you have to stand by yourself for the right reason. Be it, stand by yourself for the right reason. Doesn't matter 10,000 people standing against you for the wrong reason. You're standing for the right reason. Be it. Man up, stand for the right reason. Right now we're standing for the next generation. We're standing for our kids. We're standing for the future USA. That's what we're standing for. That's what we're speaking for. That's what we're fighting for. We cannot, we should not allow this to happen to our kids, where they're gonna be paying that heavy price with their lives with their educations, with their packets. We cannot. We should end this on November the 3rd, 2020. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America. Until next time, goodbye.